Welcome back to the President's Cup here at Iroquois Park Sports Centre in Whitby, Ontario. It is the final game of round robin, final game of day 3. The hometown Brooklin Merchants in orange facing off against the Winnipeg Blizzard off the visitors bench in white and blue. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Lucas Arger, and we are indeed underway here in our nightcap. We believe that Brooklyn are going to take top spot in the pool here by way of a head-to-head record, defeating Allegheny. As even if a loss here to Winnipeg, Brooklyn would finish with a 2-1 record and then get that head-to-head. We'll get through all of that as we look at one of our key players here, Liam Osborne, who has 4 goals in this tournament, a lot of them in transition. He'll pass off here to Parker Pfeiffer, back on the crease, and buried well shooting. Darren Elliott. Brooklyn electing to rest a bunch of their regulars, including Deacon Knott. No Alex Marinier, Will McLeod. In this game, Braden Saris, Daryl Robertson, or Nicholas Volkov. That means Lucas Coote gets the start here for the hosts.
Coote had a great season with the Merchants, Matt, a 6-0 record and a sub-8 goals against average for Coote, who has been a longtime member of this Merchants organization.
And lacrosse here in Durham, really no matter where it's been, Lucas Coote's been a part of it, as stepping up for the interception, Adam Peroni.
Another player, longtime member of the Merchants. Him and Coote played junior lacrosse together here in Durham, Whitby, along with Oshawa Blue Knights in field lacrosse and other traveling teams together. So those two have grown up together side by side.
Big collision in front had, I believe, Parker Pfeiffer upended. This shot bounces through and goes wide of the Winnipeg net. They have been running with just one scratch throughout this tournament. Anthony Melito back in. That means Jordan Stokes is out. Adam Patra from the outside. They'll go to Ryan Smith in net. There's a couple of saves and can't make the last one for Lucas Coote. How about a 1-0 lead here?
Way to corral that rebound off the post, and that was Jared Korshen able to find the loose ball and throw a couple of fakes. You're going to see a shot from Patra, bar down, and Korshen right there in front. And I hate to correct you, Matty, but I believe that was Colin Patra with the shot, not Adam.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I also know there's a Barry Blizzard reference coming at some point, so drinks ready, folks. Could be a long night up here in the booth. Oh, boy.
It's period 1, Matty.
Patty, if you can still hear me, we may need reinforcements up here. Zach Kerrigan spins back from inside the line. Devin Pfeiffer, he'll shoot. That one in on Ryan Smith. 1-0 the lead here for the Winnipeg Blizzard.
Early start for them, and definitely a confidence booster for them. 3 minutes in, they're already up 1-0, Matt. Let's see if they're able to sustain and apply pressure here to the Merchants, who are, like you said, scratched a bunch of their regulars and key pieces to their defense. Let's see if their backups are able to provide some sustainability on the back end.
Devin Pfeiffer shoots over the top. Make no mistake, that would be a shock-the-world moment here in the final round-robin game of the Prezi, but a lot of lacrosse to play yet. Only 3.5 minutes into this first period, scheduled for 3:20s, as we have been all week. For those of you who've come the distance, we appreciate you. As walking in again, how about a second? In the back of the net, Zach LeBerge this time.
You're going to see it here on the replay. LeBerge just sees a lane, and he's not going to do anything too fancy, I believe. Just a solid placement over the shoulder of Coote. He's just going to come in underneath, stick high, and just goes far side. So not a lot to it on that, but Coote hasn't played since the playoffs, I believe, in the first round against Owen Sound. So a little bit rusty for him, but hopefully he's able to get some shots in underneath his feet and get a little wet here as he dips his toes in the water early on.
Kieran Mulvaney, Alexander Delaron picking up assists. Been Delaron, Corshan, and Mulvaney doing a lot of the damage so far for this Blizzard team here at the President's Cup. Colin Patra in there as well, part of the top three. Patra has it again, high-stepping his way in after a crease violation the other way.
Parker Pfeiffer tried to go for a dunk attempt there. Matt didn't work.
Working the pick and roll, getting to the crease. Corshan's bid for his second. Denied, at least so far. Bit of a half-hearted protest from the Brooklyn bench as they were looking for a screen call. Brendan Hessen from the OLA along with Ethan Hansen and Vince Burrell down on the floor. The three officials. Joel Furman is the standby in the penalty box. Ball bounces away from Eddie Renault. Now inside the line on the run, Devin Pfeiffer. You did get the reset. Played back here for Brooklyn. Sticks are out on their bench as they're trying to give energy here to the offensive side.
What a loose ball recovery from Polera. Ball was up in the air. As soon as he caught it, he took a stick up around the neck area, but still able to hang on to it.
Devin Pfeiffer in the middle for Kerrigan. Gets swarmed. Ball loose right at the restraining line. Going to roll back towards the crease. And a holding the stick call coming up here to the Blizzard. And this is the unfortunate end usually to some of those big scrums, especially on money possessions.
Definitely, and Melito just going to get tied up a little bit. He is a lefty defender, so we'll assume it was with one of the righties, probably one of the Pfeiffer brothers there, but he will sit for 2 minutes or less as the Merchants get the game's first power play.
Start working it around the horn. Devin Pfeiffer up top, down by the crease now is where the ball is. It'll go cross seam to the far shooting side. Normally where we'd see Marinier go to work. Tonight it's going to be a lot of Zach Kerrigan. This ball ends up down floor. Shot clock does reset. 25 seconds gone in the power play. With Parker Pfeiffer now taking top spot. Accepts the pass from the lefty. Kerrigan walking it all the way down. Parker Pfeiffer to the crease. Quick stick scores.
Quick sticks will go, Matt, and that was Zach Kerrigan down there on that left crease, and Pfeiffer able just to spot him perfectly. Pfeiffer up top, sidearm pass right there, right and in and out. Quick release from Kerrigan for Brooklyn's first goal on the evening.
That'll cut the deficit in half.
Power play marker nonetheless too for Brooklyn.
Home side on the boards in front of a decent crowd here at the main pad at Iroquois Park Sports Centre. Ed Renault picking up an assist. Outside here, Pfeiffer to the far side, had the official ducking for cover. Now the shot hits the body in behind the net. Defender had lost his stick by illegal means. Hudson Parnell picks it back up. His Blizzard have the ball.
That shot came from lefty forward Cole Tucker, Matt, who slots in for his first action ever in President's Cup. Played a lot of junior here in the Durham region, mainly for the Gales in Junior B, and fortunate enough to make the roster this year, and he will get some offensive and defensive reps here tonight with some of the Merchants regulars in the stands as they are scratched this evening.
Big scrum back in the corner. Breaking free of his own scrum was Patra going to throw the hit. Alex Delaron also there in the corner. Between those two, they pick up the ball and get a fresh 30-second here for Winnipeg. Cross for Patra, big high step. Crashed into the defender, Scott Reed. Ball played to the far side, in and out of the stick of Ethan Banyuk. Now played down after Banyuk shed his defender. Got a Blizzard player filled in on the far side as Reed picks up the errant ball.
Crawford got away with a blatant high stick, I believe. That was directly up and around the chin cup area, but the officials say play on, And we do play on as Merchants are on offense.
Nice little behind the back play on the pick and roll with Devin Pfeiffer. And Smith just casually steps to his right. Take the side of the net away. Came on in relief of Drew Dickey in yesterday's game for the Blizzard. Otherwise, it's been the veteran Dickey that's played pretty much the entire tournament so far here for Winnipeg. Outside shot, LeBurge, one of the goal scorers, couldn't get it through traffic. Osborne, our key player here for Brooklyn because of stuff like that in transition, banged it off the left foot.
Is Osborne trying to take a page out of Chase Fraser's book, Matt? He is spinning one hand, a lot of transition goals. Not quite human highlight reel level yet, but I think Osborne is definitely trying his hand at a Chase Fraser like.
Chase Fraser's book is a lot thicker than Liam Osborne's at this point in their careers, I promise you that. But yes, the transition nearly working there for Osborne, who does have 4 goals in the tournament so far. Patra was trying to slow things down. The pass went right at him at the end of the shot clock.
Well, Winnipeg thought they had a reset in Matt, but lead official Brandon Hessen said that shot originated from behind the goal line, which cannot trigger a reset, hence the shot clock expiration.
Darren Elliott shoots around a screen. Just near center. Dropped by the transition player there, Lowell Asham. And 8-second call. 8 seconds to get over half. Committed against Manitoba. I guess they are Winnipeg. There's only a massive sign right across the floor with it right in your face behind the visitors' bench.
It's visible, that's for sure.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Potentially.
This shot goes off the glass. Told you it might be a long night up here. And now Jarrett Wood will leave it for Patra. Halfway through this opening period. Outside shot into Coop, who hasn't been all that busy despite some good offense played. And Delaron backing away here from a challenge, I think from Jason Crawford. There was already a penalty coming, and Delaron is going to take Crawford off the floor with him when it looked like the Blizzard were getting the only one.
We'll see if we can get a second look at that, Matt, but no, Delaron got a stick up high, and Crawford didn't like that. You're going to see it on the far side of your screen here, number 29. So he's going to cross-check a Merchants player in the tailbone. Crawford didn't like that, and I'm a little confused as to why Crawford is going to go too, Matt. All he did was run over in the direction of Delaron. Officials got in the middle of it, so I'm a little confused as to why.
Unless there was something beforehand that
maybe
facilitated the Delaron response that we saw, that the officials were going to let go initially and then decided, no, we better put both these guys in the box. And we are playing 5-on-5 here. Nothing on the board. That can turn a 2-minute minor into an 8-minute minor penalty quite quick. There's now a hit into the far boards there. That was Ryan McCrory. May have got the shoulder of the player official right on the doorstep.
That was a heavy collision.
No interference call, no penalty either. As finally the shot clock expires. Brooklyn just picked it up and took off with it prior to the siren.
And that looks to be Newman that's shaken up, and the last man to get to the bench there for the Blizzard. He was on the bottom of that dog pile.
Here's Pfeiffer behind the net. Pass comes back in front, intended for Elliott off his stick. Blizzard pick up. Jackson Neufeld. Pass it down the boards. Here to LeBurge, who works up over the top. Back in front to the crease. Shot goes wide. Rebound going to fall back down in the stick of the Merchants. And a takedown here, going to be a penalty against Neufeld. He was battling with Kobe Hanser who gets to play his first game of the Prezi.
Hanser with a good loose ball recovery, able to draw a penalty. So you're going to see the shot hit the end boards up in the air, and Hanser's going to come away with it. And it's going to be a trip infraction or a hold or something of that nature against Newfield. And he will sit for 2 minutes or less as we get a quick goalie water here, as you can see Lucas Coote coming back from the bench after getting a water break.
Brendan Hessen signaled a trip officially for the second power play of the game to the Merchants. They did score on that first opportunity, the quick stick to Kerrigan, who will now work out in front to take a low shot. Brooklyn still with the ball off the rebound. The Piper brothers now passing, getting the lefties involved. That shot skips off the end boards. No reset there. Devin Pfeiffer to the crease. Back far side. Kerrigan faked low, went high over top of Renault. And again, no reset. 10 left to shoot. This one's going to sail up and out of play off the bucket of Matthew Carlin, who shows no ill effects.
Way to use your head if you're a defender. That's what coaches love to see. And it frightens them a little bit. You're taking a hard lacrosse ball right off the dome.
Pfeiffer back to his brother Parker, down to the crease. Renault had to settle it down before shooting, and that allowed Smith to get off to his left in time. Half of the power play gone. Now is Blizzard get across center. Jarrett Wood, a spin move to shake Pfeiffer, who's going to stay down in the net, to our left. Continuing with the ball, Jarrett Wood dealing with Alexis Samard, as well as Liam Osborne, finally just going to dump it off in the corner and take 30 off the penalty clock. A lot of energy over on the Winnipeg bench right now, Lucas.
What a great kill that was from the Blizzard. Able to take a lot of contact, a lot of hacks, a lot of whacks, a check every now and then, to be able to dump the ball and kill off a big 30 seconds is a huge momentum boost for Winnipeg.
Pfeiffer behind his back. Devin to Parker to the crease, and in it is the call from the official who was right there. Parker Pfeiffer in disbelief.
Definitely, yeah. He thought that he was able to stay out of it, but Hansen, the lead official, said, nope, you tiptoed it, and you stepped right on that white paint, which you are not allowed to do.
So we return 5-on-5 with 6.5 to go here in the period. 2-1 lead, Winnipeg. Patra back with it again. Trying to run away from Kobe Hanser. Takedown right in front of the crease, and they call that interference.
What a big push on the back from Jacob Hickey. Patra is just a little bit smaller than him, a little shorter in stature, and Hickey just had one hand on his back and shoved him right down to the carpet.
There's Hamley down by the crease, now playing defense, and the shot comes. Down in the splits is Coote. Back here for Hickey on the near side. Jacob Hickey can push transition if he wants. Not this time. Gave to Hanser, who finds Devin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer through the middle. Skip shot hits the post from Peroni. Ended up right in front of the visitors' bench. Merchants will pick it back up with a fresh 30.
Cole Tucker has had a couple opportunities already. Matt rings the iron on that one. He's going to be hungry to put him behind the net.
Devin Pfeiffer takes flight, although took off inside the orange turf. Either that or his feet went through the cylinder, but no goal against Brooklyn. See if the Blizzard can capitalize. Broken stick. Going to take Banyuk off the floor. Patra directing traffic, wants a screen. Takes off running. Coote was down and pops back up in time to have the ball bounce off his shoulder.
Good save by Coote there. He knew not a lot of time in the shot clock. Patra needed to get something off, and Coote was kind of faking out Patra himself. High, low, far side, whatever. And Coote said, I'll just use my head.
Osborne, Pfeiffer looking at Cole Tucker on the crease. In the middle was Osborne. Eventually it's Smith that finds the ball, and Winnipeg go back to work. Blaze Bezecki
What a name that is, eh, Matt? Blaze Bazecki.
The all-name team. Along with Race Funk here in the tournament.
Absolutely.
And, of course, the pink shoes to go with it for Bazecki. Captain C. Watching his teammate take a shot here off Coot. Smart.
Wouldn't you also agree, Matt, that based on how many President Cups he's been to himself, Joe Hall belongs on the all-name list?
Of course. I was going to try and make a joke about you knowing his name, but I know you've taken enough ribbing for that, so we'll leave it be. Sorry.
No, not at all. I know that if Jake Elliott's listening to this right now, he's probably losing his mind.
Yes.
For good reason.
Of course, Shan to the crease. It's in. How about 2 for number 3? And a 2-goal lead for Winnipeg.
Way to absorb the contact. Korshen, bigger body on this Blizzards roster, and he's able to duck underneath. Just goes right underneath his defender, has the one arm out, goes to the crease, absorbs the contact, but he's still able to get his stick out and reach around Matt to go over the shoulder of Lucas Coote. And once again, the Blizzard have a 2-goal advantage.
With 3.5 to go here in the period.
Scott Reed comes away with it. Another draw win for him.
Has been dynamite at the face-off dot through the first 3 days of this President's Cup tournament.
And I want to correct a mistake that I made on Sunday night, Matt, when you and I called the game with Scott Reed. I'll get back to that in a minute.
Cole Tucker in front of the crease will get one back for the Merchants.
I said it earlier, Tucker had his looks. He's been getting them, and now he's fortunate enough. He's rewarded with his first goal ever for himself in a President's Cup tournament. Goes underneath. Just a simple far side reach. And Cole will be very happy with that. But it's not enough as Brooklyn is still down by 1.
Back to the face-off. Reed not going to get it this time. Picked up by the Merchants. Reed got knocked down as Carter Hewlett was grabbing that loose ball.
Going back to my point quickly, Matt, about Scott Reed at draws. I was told by a good buddy of mine named Connor Curtis that Scott Reed, not just a good attackman during his days at D2 College for Newberry, but the top draw man in potentially Newberry history. So Reed has been dominant on the draws.
Outlet pass bounces down in front of Samard, who got a good shot away. Going to track his own offensive loose ball and leave it in the stick of Kerrigan as he heads off. 1-goal game still, Winnipeg on top. 2.5 left to go. Inside the restraining line, down to Pfeiffer. Plays it back to his brother Parker. Gets his back into the defense, then gets swamped, and he gets up holding his left arm. Not good for Brooklyn, as we're going to keep our eye on number 91. One eye there, one eye on the floor as Patra is working one-handed through the middle of the set. Out to the outside, pass returns to LaBerge. Onto the crease. And Kieran Mulvaney a good chance.
Coote able to just stay calm in that, not move too much or try and fake out somebody.
Little give and goal, Cole Tucker with a pair. And we're all tied up.
Tucker using the transition game effectively, coming in off the bench. And he's able to use his quickness and quick release to get a ball past Ryan Smith for his second goal of the game.
So 3-3 here for Winnipeg. And you would think there were thoughts over on that bench of heading to the locker rooms here in a minute and a half with a lead if you were Winnipeg. But look out, because here comes Osborne to turn the tables. And the Merchants on top for the first time tonight. And this is how quickly things can change at the President's Cup, is the point I was trying to make.
3 straight goals for The Merchants now on their little run. Osborne, alone on an island, just bodies his defender and goes far side. Well done by Liam to being able to absorb that contact, as I believe that was Parnell that was defending him, and just reaches far side on Smith, and there's nothing Ryan Smith can do about that in net when you have a player that's able to go far side on you like that and the ability to reach or stick around.
Looked like Reed had won that draw again, flipped it into the offensive zone off the glass. Brought down by Winnipeg, who are now trailing for the first time in this game with a minute left. Look at all the moves here on the near side for Patra. Top 5 in RMLL scoring in history. Nearly 400 points through his junior career. Top 5 in Carthage lacrosse history, D3 school, where he went. Patra can fill any size net.
400 points in junior lacrosse. Not many people accomplish that feat.
No. Gets the ball back after it short hop the end glass. Played back to the far side. Delaron going to lower his shoulder, working into the crease. Shot on
Brooklyn. Might call timeout here, Matt.
They're thinking about it.
And they are going to.
Yeah. Yes. So this will bring Coote to the bench to see if Brooklyn can't extend this lead at least one more before the end of the period in about 20 seconds or so. But if you're Winnipeg, I mean, this is nearly a dream start. Definitely came out, looked like the team with more energy in the early stages of this first period. And, you know, Pat Gregoire and I talked about this in the last game. Six Nations, playing against St. Catherine, or Saskatchewan. And the fact that, you know, headed into tomorrow, all 4 teams in each pool, all 8 in the tournament, are going to make those quarterfinal games. So when you start heading to that, especially if you're the team that's expected to be on top, developing good habits and keeping a good mindset all throughout the game.
Definitely. And, you know, Brooklyn did come out a little flat-footed through the first 10 minutes, but they have now since woken up a little bit, found a little pep in their step, and they're just going to try and keep some positive composure and vibes in on that bench as they will have the final possession here in the opening frame, Matt.
With Coote on the bench, extra attacker out there for the Merchants. Hosts working it down into the corner. Parker Pfeiffer far side, initially knocked down, picked up. Quick shot by Darren Elliott. Another one going to fly from the restraining line. Pfeiffer wide of the mark. And it will indeed end a 4-3 first period in favor of Brooklyn. Probably the team on top that most people thought were going to be on top after the first, but definitely not the scoreline.
Definitely.
So there it is, 4-3 after 1. Here's a look at the schedule tomorrow. Again, second in Pool B and third in Pool A. It'll be Six Nations and Ladner opening our schedule tomorrow, we believe, as a result of Brooklyn having won their games against Allegheny and Ladner winning their game against Winnipeg. That would put head-to-head scenarios between those two teams and those tiebreakers. Also sets up Allegheny Edmonton, a good one at 2 p.m. Snake Island Winnipeg at 5, and then Brooklyn, they'll be in the 8 p.m. slot all week long as far as they get, as they are the home team.
This 2 o'clock game out is one I'm really looking forward to.
I saw that as we went down as well.
The bronze medal from last year against the silver medalist, 2 p.m. That's going to be a very good game, but we will have to wait for that game to happen as we still have 2 more periods left here between Winnipeg and the Merchants.
Well, and let's remember, too, those are the quarterfinal games. You lose, you go home. There is no path to get to the medal. You will come back and play Thursday, but not for anything of importance.
Correct, and both of those teams are going to be banging tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a very good game. I'm on the call for that one, I believe, with yourself, so that is going to be a very good game for yourself and I. And we will send it to break, if I'm not mistaken here.
Sure, let's do it. 4-3 Merchants after 1. We'll talk to you in about 6 minutes.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
From our unique origins to the modern game, the global lacrosse community has been preparing for this moment. Together, we step into a new chapter of growth, competition, unity, and inspiration for the next generation. Welcome to a new era of lacrosse. At the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, we continue growing together. Join the journey and let's make history in LA and beyond. A new era of lacrosse starts now.
From grassroots to major international events, Sport Durham's award-winning edge is the care we take to create memorable participant experiences and lasting legacies. Collaborate with Sport Durham to host your best event yet. While you're here, be sure to visit durhamtourism.ca for things to do across Durham Region's 8 vibrant communities. Summit Access Solutions is a turnkey access company that can accommodate any and all projects from scaffolding, swing stage, material lifts, weather enclosure systems, and shoring, just to name a few. We specialize in making what looks impossible possible so that you can complete any project safely, efficiently, and on time. Call us at 877-786-6483 or visit summitaccess.ca. No matter what the disaster, we'll be there to help get everything in your home or business restored back to normal. Whether your property has suffered from a kitchen fire, basement flood, or a break-in, our professional technicians and restoration experts will use the best tools and strategies to help you make your house feel like a home again. At Special Benefits Insurance Services, we're more than just an insurance agency. We're a family proudly serving Canadians nationwide since 1993. For over 30 years, we've helped families and individuals find the right health, dental, and travel insurance, always with friendly expert advice that's completely free. Whether you're planning a trip, protecting your health, or making sure your loved ones are covered, we're here with clarity, care, and decades of trusted experience. Special Benefits Insurance Services, where family values meet trusted guidance. Visit us today at sbis.ca. Town Brewery is based right here in Whitby and focused on strengthening our community through good work and good times. Check out the brewery just around the corner at Brock and Victoria, where they brew tons of lagers, sours, and IPAs. And if you've never been, be sure to hit up the Pump House Town waterfront location just down the street on the shores of beautiful Lake Ontario. Welcome back to Iroquois Park Sports Centre and the final day and final game of round-robin play here at the 2025 President's Cup. It is a 4-3 lead for Brooklyn, but at a point it looked like Winnipeg were going to be the ones on top here, Lucas.
Definitely. Jared Korshen with 2 goals in that period, LeBurge with the other, and it was a quick start for the Blizzard. They were up 1-0 3 minutes into this game, and I believe 2-0 at the 10-minute mark. But Brooklyn able to use a 3-goal run to their advantage, 2 of them on the power play, to see them have a 1-goal lead as we enter the second period.
All 3 of those Blizzard goals right tight to the crease, and then another one for good measure on the Brooklyn side of things. How about a pair of goals for Cole Tucker?
Definitely.
His Prezi debut.
Absolutely. Tucker slots into this Merchants lineup today with some of the regulars out. We've talked about that multiple times in the broadcast. But Tucker's one of those guys. He's very versatile. Plays on the ball team, power play unit, offense, defensive reps, and just a very quick, athletic, young player that the Merchants are going to look at keeping him around for years and years to come for as long as Tucker wants to play, because it's not often like that you get a player like that come through your organization.
So we have about 20 seconds left before the start officially of the period. Teams will switch sides here. Jared Korshen with a pair of goals, like we said. LeBurge, 1 as well.
Scott Reed and Jarrett Wood are both antsy to get going here, Matt. They went down for the draw, but official Vincent Burrell said, "Hold on, fellas, we got to wait for the intermission." And Reed and Wood both popped up and looked at him and said, "Come on, man, we're ready to go. What's happening?"
We've seen that a few times today, actually. This is going to get a delayed penalty here, but scratch that goal instead for Darren Elliott 11 seconds into the period.
Elliott, just off-ball cut. Backside, cutting through the middle, stick up, and he's able to go low. Not sure if that was 5-hole or not, but he definitely went low on Ryan Smith. You're going to see Elliott backside cut right there, and he did go 5-hole. Just in and out of his stick. You can see the Merchants player on the turf there in front of the net as he got dummied from behind. Would have been a delayed penalty, but Elliott said, "We don't need the power play. I'm going to score."
Reed with another face-off win, this one cleaner. And we have seen that from draw takers throughout this tournament. They take the clock all the way down, which we as broadcasters are grateful for, but at the same time, it's created a bunch of the drama to just kind of stand around wondering what's happening. But Polera back down here. Kerrigan all alone gets taken down at the side of the crease. Reese White, they're good defensively. Ball works out to Matthew Carlin, who's going to get around Osborne. Low shot here off the end boards. Remember, Lucas Cute did not play very much in the playoff run for the Brooklyn Merchants. This is Deacon Knott, their number 1, not in tonight, so he comes in, and a couple early goals has settled in since. Almost had to eat my words there. But Brooklyn will pick up and head quickly the other way, led by Osborne. Playing back down for Cody Hamley in his first game here at this President's Cup tournament. Osborne chases it out into the corner where it gets knocked out of his stick. Against a double team of Blizzard players. Smith waiting for this one to pop out of the pile. It's not going to, though, as Osborne gets up with a headlock. And Jack Ney took exception. Officials jump in. Ney's lost his bucket. And the Merchants are going to lose possession. Where is it?
I believe Poitras had the
Poitras
ball
got it.
way over center, but no one knew where it was, but play was blown in. Jason Crawford just got absolutely bodied at the center line. And then he comes back and goes after Poitras a little bit there.
You knew some revenge was coming.
Eye for an eye action.
Looked at the official and there was no call. Jacob Hickey will play it up. Big swinging stick check there. Initially knocked it free of Renaud from White. Down far side, dragging through, and contact made with Smith. Devin Pfeiffer will check that the Blizzard goaltender is okay, and everyone goes their separate ways.
Pfeiffer able to go underneath, slip under his defender, but that orange crease turf monster caught him. A little bit of a double-edged sword here for the Merchants. They love the orange on their jerseys, just not on the carpet.
Bouncer off the initial shot. LaBerge looking to corral it. Got ran into there by Peroni, and time is going to expire. Swings his stick in frustration right at the horn and takes his glove off. We'll keep an eye on LaBerge here. Looks to be okay.
We also see Parker Pfeiffer back here playing offense. Took the final 90 seconds off, if folks remember him getting up and grimacing, holding his arm close to his chest, but appears to have gotten some tape or rested up a little bit, some ice maybe in the intermission match, but he's back out there playing offense. Down
on the crease, quick shot there by Asham. Looks like possession recovered down in the corner, but quickly Kellen Pulera all over his man. Knocks it out of the stick of Bezecki. It'll roll back into Coots crease, and again we shout out the training and equipment staffs here at the President's Cup for all 8 teams.
The amount of hours and
oh boy, yes,
work that they put in.
Oh! Ball from behind the net comes back out. Smith lost track of it, and it ends up behind him.
What a goal. BTB feed. Smith's looking the wrong way. Pulera able to catch that in the air and get the shot off. Absolutely brilliant and fancy play from the Merchants there as Pulera has his first goal of the night.
And immediately points back at the assist man in recognition of the pass from behind the net. Beautiful one.
No doubt about it. You and I both had to go, oh, because of how good that goal was. I'm not sure what was better, the goal or the catch.
Look out here, Merchants have one in behind everybody, in the pass too low for Osborne from Cole Tucker. Hard collision far side, that's Delaron again. Now he's going to take a chop from Osborne. Yelling back in that direction of the Brooklyn bench on his way down for an offensive shift. Asham back across the restraining line to LaBarge. Worked back to the top of the set. Patra's shot handled by Coop. Rainbow pass over top of everybody. Peroni runs into it. Thinks better transition as everybody's off the bench already here for Winnipeg. 4.5 minutes into this second period.
Blizzard are going to try and do anything they can to shut down Brooklyn, as they've now scored 6 unanswered goals.
Wow.
5, I believe. Sorry, 5. Apologies.
Hudson Parnell fell behind the play and is noticeably limping, trying to get back to the Winnipeg bench. That's going to leave a man short as the ball ends up back in their own crease.
Parnell seems to be down the tunnel right now, Matt, with the Blizzard training staff, so we will wait to see if and when he returns. We'll keep an eye out on him.
Banyuk coming in. Out to the far side. Bounce pass. Bezecki was losing his footing. A couple players down. His ball is going to bounce back to Coot. He goes behind the back. 8 count on here and just beaten out by Hamley.
That was nifty pass from Kuda, and unfortunately it almost didn't work for him, but Hamley thankful to get over the timeline.
Ball going to come across the top of the set here. Shot from Elliott, bounces wide of the net and into Banyuk, who thought better of trying to beat the double team. Going back to the training staff, I said last game, you know, we have to go down to the penalty box and get rosters. To do that, have to walk through the corridor where the change rooms are. There were 4 massage tables, and all with someone getting work done on them after the 2 p.m. game this afternoon.
The players take a beating out here, and the medical staff do a great job at fixing them up, repairing their muscles, doing anything that they can, ice and heat, electrolytes in them. These players don't get back into playing condition without the medical staff and all the hard work they do.
Tucker there for Pfeiffer. His shot initially off the foot. It looked like of Neufeld, who was going to start to lead transition. Passes off to Bezecki instead. captain, returning it back here to Patra. Down towards the corner, Patra. Outside shot, just rises high over top of the net. 2-on-1 perhaps developing here for Brooklyn. The pass back through the middle to Crawford. A little too far.
Great body positioning on that loose ball from Patra as Crawford somewhat overran it. And Patra was able to body him out and box him out, kind of like in basketball you see there on a rebound to corral that loose ball for Winnipeg to go back on offense.
Delarond on the outside, shoots through. Banyuk makes the save and will push this immediately up to mid-floor where Osborne puts his shoulder into the defender. Ran through the crease.
I think Osborne kind of threw his arms up and looked at the official and said, no, I wasn't close to it. But I think you and I both saw it clear as day. His feet were in the orange turf.
Well, he ran through the crease, and the officials elected to blow the play dead rather than have it play out. Osborne couldn't play it anyways. So that was always going to be Winnipeg ball. Collision here between Hickey and Banyuk. Lizard forward got the worst of that. The backhand try for Corshen. Bid for the hat trick denied, at least for now.
Physicality and intensity definitely ramping up here. Some play on, some minor interferences that the officials are letting the players play through. So we will see if the officials continue to do that. Personally, I love it when you let the boys bang, but there is a line that you cannot cross. And I think both players, or both teams, I should say, are right on the line of it. And if they're able to stay on the right side of it, it's going to be a very physical contest.
Goodness. A good physical play and a great finish from Zach Kerrigan, his second of the night.
Holy Toledo, what an individual effort that was from Kerrigan. Takes the whack here, dishes in, you're going to keep it in front, goes in, twister a little bit, in the air, shovel shot, bouncer goes in. You know what coaches say, Matt? Bouncers will go.
7-3 now. All goals here in the period coming the way of Brooklyn, who continue their run after, I think, being shocked a little bit in the first half of that first period. Wizard came out guns blazing, but nothing really for the last period. Over the shoulder try by Renault. Bangs off the end boards.
The one thing I'm liking about Winnipeg's play right now in the second period, Matt, is the intensity that they're able to keep up and their transition opportunities. It's not much of it up to the caliber that Brooklyn's playing, but it's just enough to keep Brooklyn on their toes. And if they're able to do that, they may force them to take a penalty. Who knows?
Outside here, Merchants getting it back to Kerrigan. Tried to cut back in once again. Couldn't do it that time. Hamley will pick up the loose ball from the corner. Playing to Kerrigan. Does the hat trick come this time? No, off the stanchion and the shot clock violation. If you want to find Cody Hamley on a lacrosse floor, pretty easy. Look to the dirty areas, always in the corner, always in front of the crease, always getting roughed up. As Delarond gets roughed up there at the timeline. Hickey, the benefactor from the over and back. Couple passes back and forth in front of the crease. As now they're going to give a reset here to Hickey and the Merchants.
Looks like some of the Merchants defenders are going to play offense here. Matt has both
a dive attempt and a goal. Marinier did this a couple nights, not in the lineup, but we still get one from Brooklyn as the run continues.
Parker Pfeiffer gets his first goal of the game. You're going to see it here on the replay. So you get Scott Reed and Jacob Hickey out there on offense. You're going to see the shot come in, loose ball behind. Parker comes around, gets it, and just keeps his momentum going. He sees it, and he knows that Smith is out to play it, and then cage is wide open, dives, keeps his feet out, and that's a clean goal all day long, and Pfeiffer has his first goal of the contest.
And again, it's out of the plane of the cylinder of the crease. Is the crease rule here. NLL, he's just got to stay airborne until that goes in, and then he can land in the orange carpet. But here under Prezi rules in the summer, feet have to stay clear, which they Obviously did in the eyes of the official. 8-3 now the score. This was once a 3-1 game. Go back to the face-off dot, not Reed this time. I believe it's Robert Morgan trying to get the face-off for the Merchants. Gonna roll back in the direction of White. Couldn't pick it up cleanly initially. Gets tied up with Alexis Simard. As now it's played back, and Neufeld got as far as a double team.
And you still see Simard and Ney tied up there. A couple hacks and whacks. I think Simard even gave him a little bit of a shove up to the helmet. But hey, officials are letting the boys bang.
9.5 to go here in the second period.
Oh,
man. Low chop here. And a penalty coming up to Jack Ney. Can't see who it is down on the floor.
That's either Alexis Simard or Cole Tucker. We're not sure. I do see a 1 on their jersey, but I'm not sure who it is per se. But that is just an unfortunate hack. Got him in the groin area is where he appears to be putting his hands there.
Yeah, here's a look. We'll confirm it.
So that is Cole Tucker right there, and just a two-hander right in the lower stomach section, groin area, as I mentioned. And I don't know about you, Matt, but no one wants to take a stick there.
No, I definitely do not. Thanks for asking. Tucker, 2-goal night and all smiles all around. So I think that does indeed tell you exactly where that was. Easy to smile from those feet away. And yeah, Kyle Tucker, voice range just went up a few notches.
I think you meant Cole Tucker, Matt. I think Kyle Tucker's currently playing a Major League Baseball game for the Cubbies.
Man.
So I think that's Cole Tucker you meant to say.
Patty, take another sip, bud. Worried about my bingo card. Goodness. Here's Pfeiffer. Renault, I'm glad you're here. And weren't fact-checking my directing mistakes earlier in the day. Here's Renault getting through the center. Nice little cutback move. Didn't shoot initially. The patience to wait it out and score.
Definitely. Renault able to just float a little bit in the middle. You see some teams on power plays do that, and he just receives a pass. He's going to cut inside. And just able to get his hands free. You saw Carlin on that play. They're checking him in the ribs and on the kidney pads, but that's not going to do much against a big body like Renault. You got to make somewhat of an attempt at the stick, but Carlin unable to do that, and Renault has his first goal of the night. And Scott Reed, Matt, once again, back at the face-off dot. He does not win that face-off, though, unfortunately, as I believe that was Michael Newman that comes away with that face-off victory.
An 8-goal run now for the Merchants. I've got it coming from 7 different goal scorers of their 9 today. Zach Kerrigan, Cole Tucker alone. Multi-goal scorers for the boys in orange. Bounce shot going to come back towards the penalty box area. Bounces down the tunnel, heads up Mikey. Kerrigan. Out to the outside, cycle is on. Kerrigan carries it around to the back of the crease. Looking back in front for the cutting Kellen Polera. Brooklyn were changing, expecting that to go over and back. Play saved by Hamley. And through the middle, Devin Pfeiffer's shot bounces off Ryan Smith.
Smith able to make a quality stop here after allowing a couple goals.
Asham in transition. Good shot there from Winnipeg. Ball's going to bounce out in towards the corner. First one in there, Ryan McCrory for Brooklyn. And the ball is going to fall their way with Peroni taking it.
big hit from Morgan as he was able to get a pass off, and he saw the contact coming, and he kind of threw a shoulder check of his own.
Working it through Renault. Brooklyn team came out of the locker room guns blazing. Must have been the pep talk from Canadian Oldie, who is in the house here at the Prezi.
Did you see him warming up?
I did. He scored. Got a great reaction from everybody.
I'm not sure what was better about him in warm-up, the fact that he
it
scored
was
and the reaction he got,
It was
or the bucket.
It was the bucket. I
Old
knew
school-
exactly where you were going.
Old school 1990s, early 2000s, red bucky for Oldie. Oh, that was a fit if I've ever seen one.
Outlet pass, transition, break. Merchants looking down low. Osborne ran through the crease, can't play it. Winnipeg wanted to just be a crease call. The play allowed to continue on here. Hickey, big jab step. Turns back over to the far side. Official was ducking for cover, never got their twist from Hickey. Rolls in the corner, Blizzard pick up, and they'll run transition with Alex Delaron. Gets his own rebound. We're initially looking to the 5-hole there on Coot, and Delaron taken down hard. His pass across the front of the crease, intercepted by Coot. McCrory out to the corner, quick stick. Elliott trying to get it across to Kerrigan. It was tipped by a Winnipeg defender and up out of play.
That could have been problematic for Brooklyn on that outlet pass from Coot. I kind of went to no man's land, Matt, but thankfully someone was able to come away with it, and Brooklyn able to get a shot up and out of play, hence why they have possession, but they just lost it now. Winnipeg will now see if they'll be able to get a ball past Lucas Coot in this middle frame. They've been unsuccessful so far through almost 15 minutes of play here in the middle frame.
Well, you did it now, Lucas. Probably going to come right here because you said that. Banyuk outside the restraining line, under 10 to shoot. Only got 6 seconds to escape. You were nervous though, weren't you?
Oh, I was holding my breath a little bit on that one there.
Here's Renault. There are commentators who don't believe in that stuff. I'm not tempted anything. Shot there off Smith. And now a 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Hudson Parnell gonna keep and shoot. Coot with the same rebound comes back. Osborne, hard hit, taking Parnell down in the corner, and it's the trail official, Brandon Hessen, who's gonna call Osborne to the box.
And Osborne knew immediately what he did. He didn't say anything, didn't try to plead his case. He just went right to the box, and we'll see the official call here from Brandon Hessen. It will just be a minor interference call. Not the possession.
Minor 4 interference.
Minor 4 interference is what I meant to say. We'll see if we can get a better look here. Look at the far side of your screen. Osborne just gave him one check and then a second from behind right into the boards.
Blizzard did score on their only other power play opportunity. Have not scored since the 3:34 mark of last period, so we're within a minute of a full period here, and the first shot goes off the shoulder of Coot, and that was the power play goal, the last one for the Blizzard. What a pickup on the short hop by Darren Elliott down floor. Smith turns it into a moot point, however.
Not many people are able to make that pickup, Matt, especially in transition.
At speed, yes.
When you're flying off that bench, you don't slow down for anything, except maybe the boards, but that's a whole other conversation.
Potter taking top spot. Gonna back off and give it here to Delaron, whose shot rings right off the foot of the defender, Alexis Simard. He's had a rough and tumble game. Has Simard already, and he's gonna go for a walk down the tunnel. Trainer in hot pursuit. And the Chrome Dance Studio has to make way as they've been entertaining the fans at intermission here today.
Including yourself, Matt. You were just saying that at the first intermission you were liking their dance moves.
Yeah, some good tunes too. Outside Pfeiffer. wants them to play his favorite song, the goal song for a shorty.
Devin Pfeiffer able to get on the score sheet here. Just going to be a two-man game a little bit here with his brother. Gets to the middle, shooting lane, just a low shot, far side, right underneath the glove of Ryan Smith. And I think Smith is going to want to have that one back as he saw it the whole way, just unable to get his arm all the way to the turf to make that save.
If I was more ambitious and motivated, I'd try and figure out how many goals each one of the Pfeiffer brothers have assisted on the other one, or got the primary apple through their entire career, whether that's minor or Rock Elite or junior or here in Senior B, and now at the Prezi, they've combined on more than one occasion. Pfeiffer scoring shorthanded. Still just a couple seconds remaining on that penalty, as it's up to 10 now. 9 straight from the Brooklyn Merchants all through this period. And we're all even. Blizzard 1 for 2 on the power play today. So are the Merchants. Pass back to Delaron. Difference being Merchants have that shorthanded goal they just got. Side shot off the boards.
Almost hit the cameraman down there in the penalty box for the Merchants. Able to duck out of the way, having a little chuckle about it there.
Everyone's got a plan until that ball starts coming their way. Ducked for cover. I mean, that would make a good Instagram post if we were rolling on that one. But anyways.
You ever had to duck out of the way for a shot, Matt?
Oh, no. I'm standing there and take it. Come on. No video to back up that theory. Don't go look for it. Inside of 2 minutes left to go. Big collision. Korschen at the bottom of the pile. Rebound picked up and well getting hit. Ethan Banyek ends the drought.
Banyek was getting bodied at the very end of that shot by Adam Peroni, but he didn't care. He's now got a goal in this game. You're going to see a loose ball scrum in front of the net. Banyek comes up with it, and at the very end, Peroni just shoves him, but not before he's able to get the release off. And you're right, that ends the run of what? 7, 8 straight goals? We'll have to double check that.
9 total. It was 3-1 before Brooklyn started their run. That ends 9 and 21 minutes, 46 seconds of shutout lacrosse, and the answer comes just that quickly. 6 seconds later from Osborne in transition.
Adam Peroni with the loose ball recovery off that face-off, and Osborne just said, give it to me, and I'm going to go streaking in, and he was able to do just that and go far side on Smith. Peroni's going to dish it to Osborne, and as soon as Osborne catches it, he turns, fires, top corner, textbook transition shooting from Liam Osborne.
Told you he was our player to watch here in this game, and you need to watch him because he does stuff like that. His second goal now. Reed into the outside, and the wheels for Osborne have been flying here at the President's Cup, including last night. And day number 1. He's just been good the whole time. Here's Tucker playing it back to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer keeping it away from Jackson Neufeld. This one will get through to the front of the crease late in the shot clock. Brooklyn player taken down. I think he was expecting interference to be called against Ulette, but not so much. Into the final minute here of the second period. Patra turns away after shedding his defender. Nice help from McCrory, though, to force him out wide. Banyek looking back in Patra's direction. It's going to bounce away from him. Hanser picks up for the Merchants. 40 seconds left to go.
Not sure what Brooklyn's plan is going to be here, Matt. They've already used their one of their 2 timeouts in this game in the first period. Winnipeg still has both. So if you're Brooklyn, you might be content to just run down the shot clock, give Winnipeg less time on that clock should they choose to use a timeout.
Renault back through the middle. Darren Elliott had it, dropped it, shoots. It does hit off Smith, and looks like Brooklyn are going to get it back, and they might have that last possession. Going to hang on to their timeout, at least for now. Coot looking to the bench, not going to get the call. Out from the corner, it comes back. Thinking of shooting was Polera, and time's going to expire before Jack Ney could think of a long bomb. Coot was still at the restraining line. That could have been interesting with another tick or two on the clock. So let's check out the standings. This is coming into the game. So Brooklyn, a 2-0 record, but they do have a win against Allegheny. Ladner's win came against Winnipeg. So that would give those two head-to-head tiebreakers, which I believe is the first one, which means we don't have to do any math. That
Thank
would give
God.
No, we pegged you as the guy who was going to do it. We drew straws and you weren't here, so.
Not my strong suit, and I believe
Well,
I heard Patty Gregoire saying that on the broadcast. Patty, math ain't my strong suit, buddy.
Well, not mine either. And Winnipeg, if they had gone 1-2, a loss against Ladner would still leave them in that final spot. So your crossovers, first in Pool B against, well, the first in one pool plays 4 in the other. So Brooklyn, Saskatchewan, Snake Island, Winnipeg. And then you cross 2 and 3, Allegheny, Edmonton. Six Nations, Ladner would be your matchups tomorrow. And we believe that is regardless of what happens here in this game today, which right now Brooklyn leads by a score of 11-4 after 2 periods, setting up this schedule for tomorrow starting at 11 a.m.
Going to be a great day of lacrosse once again here. 4 straight days where we have 4 straight games, Maddie. It's going to be fun. And you said it, we kick off at 11 a.m. with the Rivermen taking on the Pioneers, who we've mentioned multiple times this week. They are the 3-time defending President's Cup champions. Not the usual team that we've seen here this week, but nonetheless, anything can happen once you cross over and play a team from a different pool.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, those are knockout games. So if you end up losing and you have medal ambitions, you can forget them right then and there because you'll be coming back on Thursday for the consolation games. Friday, 2 semifinals. Saturday, we set up for bronze and gold. A lot happening here at the President's Cup. We invite you to head down to Whitby. Keep watching, however, because a lot still to come in our third period, which is in about 5 minutes' time. We'll be right back.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
From our unique origins to the modern game, the global lacrosse community has been preparing for this moment. Together, we step into a new chapter of growth, competition, unity, and inspiration for the next generation. Welcome to a new era of lacrosse. At the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, we continue growing together. Join the journey, and let's make history in LA and beyond. A new era of lacrosse starts now.
From grassroots to major international events, Sport Durham's award-winning edge is the care we take to create memorable participant experiences and lasting legacies. Collaborate with Sport Durham to host your best event yet. While you're here, be sure to visit durhamtourism.ca for things to do across Durham Region's 8 vibrant communities. Summit Access Solutions is a turnkey access company that can accommodate any and all projects from scaffolding, swing stage, material lifts, weather enclosure systems, and shoring, just to name a few. We specialize in making what looks impossible possible so that you can complete any project safely, efficiently, and on time. Call us at 877-786-6483 or visit summitaccess.ca. No matter what the disaster, we'll be there to help get everything in your home or business restored back to normal. Whether your property has suffered from a kitchen fire, basement flood, or a break-in, our professional technicians and restoration experts will use the best tools and strategies to help you make your house feel like a home again. Turn your scrap into cash at Langeal's Metal Recycle in Port Perry. We pay top dollar when you bring your metal to our yard. With a strong focus on safety and environmentally responsible recycling, you can trust Langeal's to handle your scrap the right way. Fast, fair, and local, Langeal's Metal Recycling in Port Perry. For more information, please visit www.lmr.ca. Thank you to game day sponsor Eco Airflow, who has been providing indoor air quality solutions to customers for over 15 years. Better air can be found at ecoairflow.com and see how the science of filtration can improve the air in your home. Welcome back to Iroquois Park Sports Centre in Whitby, Ontario for the final round-robin game here of the 2025 President's Cup. Big run in that period for the Brooklyn Merchants, Lucas.
No question about it. They were up 4-3 after one. They're now up 11-4, 7 goals, and they had a 9-0 run that carried over from the first into the second. Winnipeg was able to disrupt it and end it, but the Merchants able to just fire on all cylinders. We'll have to double check our stats, Matt, but they have probably close to 10 now different goal scorers here on the night. As you saw, Parker Pfeiffer able to do a dunk around shot, shovel. Eddie Renault's going to come in here and just body his way, able to get a shot past Ryan Smith. But the Blizzard have just been unable to keep up and go back and forth with the Merchants. Merchants came out flat-footed in that first period, but that second they definitely woke up. And Lucas Coote has been rock solid. Despite allowing one goal in that second period, he went over 20 minutes without allowing one in goal time. But Coote just not tested as much. He doesn't really need to be so far, Matt, as the third period rolls around shortly. Still a little bit of time here left in intermission. And we've already talked about a lot in the broadcast, but this game doesn't really mean a whole lot standings-wise, as the Merchants, regardless if they win or lose tonight, will finish atop of Pool A. But they would like to say that they could go undefeated through round robin.
And, of course, momentum heading into tomorrow, positive vibes. Pardon me. And all that heading into, again, the games that start to matter as you push your way to where this team wants to be. If you're talking about Brooklyn, they've got gold medal aspirations. They don't have win day 3 aspirations.
It's been 9 years since the Merchants have been at the President's Cup. In 2016, they won Ontario to go. They unfortunately lost in the bronze medal game, I believe, or at least made it to the bronze medal game. We'll have to double check what the result was in that one. But still, it's been almost a decade since they have been on the national level here, and they just don't want to, they didn't want to backdoor their way in here. They wanted to win Ontario, prove that they can contend, and I think they've been able to do that so far in beating both Allegheny, Ladner, and potentially Winnipeg here through round robin.
Ball picked up by Kerrigan, back through center. Head coach Ryan Desjardins and assistant Mark DeBrone, both on that team that played last in the Prezi.
9 years, Matt. I still can't really believe it, to be honest. They won it. Last time Brooklyn made it to the Prezi, they won Ontario when the Merchants were still playing in Brooklyn out of historic Luther Vipod Memorial Arena. That seems like a lifetime ago.
Patras to the far side. Breaking news here, Lucas. Are you ready? We got shot totals.
We got shot totals!
For the first period, 4 goals off 17 for Brooklyn. 3 off 13, then it moves to 7 off 18, 1 off 11 for Winnipeg. Totals 11 off 35, 4 off 24 for Winnipeg, who are close to an over and back here. Reese White does keep it on side. And now Banyuk ducking his way under a couple checks. Darren Elliott, have a night, 7 points, 2 and 5. They've got him credited for. Here in this game, 2 goals for Osborne and Kerrigan. Same story, Cole Tucker.
When you said we had breaking news, Matt, I swore you were going to say that you just got a message from Pat Gregoire replying to what you said about the Merchants or making some sort of joke or comment to you. I really thought you were going to go down the Gregoire rabbit hole.
Jokes? Come on, man. We're this serious business. With the President's Cup, a big fall on the far side. Down goes the aforementioned Elliott. See, I've only got Elliott for 1 goal here, so somebody else missing one. As running down, LeBurge's shot, his bid for a 2nd goal on his day. Sails high over top of Coot. Back to the corner, LeBurge. Loose ball in front of the crease, picked up by Ryan McCrory. Adam Perrone has it, now giving to Osborne.
I think Winnipeg is just going to try and work on some easy and fundamental opportunities for them, as this game's kind of gotten out of reach now for Winnipeg, and if they want to at least show what they're capable of. They've been able to do it all week long, but tomorrow in the quarterfinals when they go up against Snake Island, who we know, Matt, have a 3-headed monster in Thomas, Lanchbury, and Spalina, they will need everybody that they can get and a lot of talent if they want to try and disrupt the Muskies.
Now we expect everybody from here on out, if you got them, they're going to be in the lineup. No resting anymore with Elliott jogging his way in. Although we did see for most of the last game, Saskatchewan keep it within 10 of 6 Nations. Which I don't think anybody's celebrating anything as they go off to their hotel and settle in for the night. But to take it as a win is now a back over here. Parnell just lost space of where he was. And
Brooklyn bench losing it there, Matt. They really wanted a delay of game call against the Blizzard. And meanwhile, we have a Winnipeg player down on the turf. Not sure what for. I didn't see that. We'll see if we can get a second look at it. But is that Parnell?
No, Pfeiffer cutting in front of, I think it is Parnell. On the screen, the 3 officials are going to talk about this to see if anyone saw anything. We did, though. Keep your eye on the restraining line. Oh.
Ouch. Just a cross check as Devin Piper was cutting through in the leg area. Oh, now he got some jarring out near the benches. Peroni.
Lots of words, and we're going to get a penalty. I think Peroni is heading his way over to the penalty box as the officials had to get between the benches quickly.
You're going to see Gavin Prout now kind of losing his mind a little bit at both Brandon Hessen and Vincent Burrell.
Oh, and this is a 10 against Peroni.
So a 2 and a 10, Matt, or just a 10?
I don't know. It looked like straight 10.
Okay.
Should also let you know that Parnell got up under his own power and walked off. Trainer was close by, but not getting any assistance. And nothing on the board. We stay 5-on-5, so that's Adam Peroni off for 10 minutes.
That's going to be a big loss for the Merchants. One of their veteran defenders. Now going to be down for 10. Not sure how much they'll need him here in a game like this. But a slash up top, and we got more rough stuff here. Are we going to see Osborne and Patra go at it? We're not sure.
They're just going to stare each other down. Official has called a penalty somewhere. I'm not sure if it's both of them going. It's none of the above. Zach LaBerge.
So it's only going to be the initial from LaBerge, as I believe it was when Scott Reed had the ball. You're going to see it here in transition. Reed has the ball, and LaBerge.
Oh, just smacks him. Yeah, that's a slash.
That's penalty worthy. Merchants back on the power play here. Matt, they're already 2 for 2 on it, 2 for 3. Not sure what the power play percentage is here. We definitely know they have 2 goals on the power play.
2 for 2 coming in. This would be their third opportunity based on my chart, which is by no means official. Low shot from Elliott, not content with 7 points. Pfeiffer. That was Parker through brother Devin. Parker with it again. Now Renault getting involved along with Kerrigan. He takes a shove in front of the crease. A shot. Rebound picked up by Renault on the far boards. Parker Pfeiffer with it again with a fresh 30. Renault walking in. His shot wide. Rebound goes right back to Matthew Carlin. Falling Devin Pfeiffer. No one can get back, and all of that was on Winnipeg's possession, so turning and firing. Renault ate that long bomb chance.
Credit to Renault for soaking his body there. If he doesn't do that, that ball goes all the way down the floor, and that's anybody's ball.
Elliott. Renault trying to get Lizard back in, but the ball never came out of the crease. Nifty little move. This tier free. This is Neufeld. Jackson Neufeld still with it. Back to the timeline. Hamley in a shoving match here as the screen comes. Nearly came across in front of Patras. Facing 3 defenders. Just lifts it into the corner at the end of the shot clock. That's going to take the penalty time down to 15 seconds.
Merchants are fortunate that ball didn't go out of play. That went off a defender's stick, and Winnipeg would have gotten the ball back, but stays in play. And penalty time dwindling down here.
Kerrigan shot right down Main Street, bounces off Ryan Smith. Penalty expires. 2 for 3 now. Merchants on the man advantage as you get more shoving in front of the bench, but meanwhile Devin Pfeiffer alone on the crease scores.
Outlet pass, I believe that was from Kellen Polera. And Pfeiffer just does what he does best. Fake short side, go far side. I'm wrong, Matt. I actually think that was Jacob Hickey that sent the ball down to Pfeiffer. Devin, fake short side, just looks far side. That's all it is.
Great look on that tight shot on the replay. You can see the feet staying outside of the crease. Michael, tell us. Parker Pfeiffer. Okay then.
So Parker Pfeiffer assists on his older brother Devin's goal, and the lead is now 8. Once again, Matt, for Brooklyn.
Brothers connect again. As Winnipeg come back with it.
Maybe soon one day you and I will be calling a Merchants game, and all 3 Pfeiffers will be in the lineup, as the youngest Zach was a player. He still is playing a little bit, I believe. Not sure if he took the summer off this year, but he played definitely, and he's played with them a little bit. And we got some rough stuff here near the benches.
Officials are going to jump in. No signal, no call yet. We'll just throw the ball back in play, whistle it in, and
cooler heads will prevail.
Speaking of family connections, that's Alex Delaron that was picking himself up. Something set off the bench. The official heard it, and there's a penalty coming. Father Richard Delaron on the bench, as well as coached all his sons coming all the way up, including twin brother Seth, Parker, Hudson as well. All out in Manitoba.
Great save right there from Ryan Smith. I believe that was Devin Pfeiffer that had a great point-blank look, but Smith said no and shut the door.
Kicked it all the way down the floor, though. Official's arm's got to be tired as another chance. Going to be picked up here by the Merchants.
Heston is used to this, Matt. He does this a lot in Junior A, but you don't see that often, as Elliott just sends it right to the netting. And you're going to see Heston motion to the Blizzard bench, and that's going to be LeBerge.
I'm not sure it's his penalty. I think it's a bench minor, and he's coming across to serve, but Heston ran in front of the bench, and I saw his arm go up, so I'm sure he heard something over there with minute 54 away from the halfway mark now of this third period. 12 for the score, just the one goal. Came off a Merchant stick here in the period. Quick stick, make it 2. Another point for Darren Elliott tonight.
Good quick stick pass. That's Kellen Polera, the goal scorer. And you're going to see Polera start up top, just drift down, do a little switch here with Kerrigan. And the Blizzard defense didn't really know what to do, as most of them were ball watching and never saw Polera go back door, able to squeak it in top corner over Smith.
Polera's second, the third power play goal of the game for the Merchants, now making them 3 for 4. And the lead is up to 9. Again, goal differential going to get thrown out here because no 3-way ties. Keep saying goal differential, but
ooh, that didn't look good at all.
Jousting battle here between Elliott and Jarrett Wood. Wood's stick went high. Elliott went low, and I think both of them are coming off.
I'm thinking the same thing. I think I saw both Heston and Burrell motion.
Yeah.
That Elliott's going to go here. Not sure what for potentially, but we're going to see the call here in a second.
Oh, there was enough before we saw him fall.
Oh, there was. Okay.
Trying just inside. We just see the tail end of it, but that was going on for quite some time. They'll both get 2 minutes for cross-checking, and we remain 5 on 5. That was going to be a play on until it came upstairs into the face mask.
Head contact is always something. Doesn't matter if you're 9 years old or 29 playing in Senior B lacrosse. Head contact is always something that officials will prioritize, as well as the majority and the rest of player safety.
Sound like an official.
I'm not sure where you got that idea from. I don't know who paid you to say that, but you might be right, but who knows?
Osborne running it back in again. We remain 5 on 5. 9-goal advantage here for Brooklyn. Trying to remain perfect here in round-robin play. I've already locked up the first seed and a date with Saskatchewan tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Swim move here. Pfeiffer looked off Osborne, goes to the far side. Kerrigan crease dive. Ends up landing in the carpet, and ball will be picked up here off the violation by the Blizzard.
I said it a little earlier in the broadcast yesterday, Matt, that you're seeing more and more players try a crease dive attempt going far side or from behind the net, but you're only seeing that on the carpet. Players don't want to skin their knees and get banged up on the concrete, so the turf adds that factor that they want to try something fancy or something that they wouldn't necessarily try in any other game or on any other surface.
Another tie-up in through the middle. Renault this time taken down at the hands of Anthony Melito.
You try any crease dives back in your playing days?
Oh, I had enough trouble just getting that far. Let's be honest here. Have to hit the net first with your shot, and then you can try fancy stuff. By the end of my career, I was a defender, and there was a reason for it. Is now going to get another stick that rides high. Cole Tucker down to the floor. The previous offsetting Miners will escape the box. As coming in to serve is Carter Ouellette.
Ouellette just pressuring Cole Tucker coming in from around the net, and yeah, his first motion is high. Tucker did try to duck and get out of the way, but still caught the tail end of that. It started up near the shoulder neck area, and I believe hit helmet. Bit of a water break, though, here for the goalies, Matt, as it takes a lot of effort to be a goalie, especially when you're playing into the dog days of July and now here into August when weather's starting to break a little bit, but it's still hot on any given day.
Of course, and just enough time not only to rehydrate after this game, but hydrating, getting ready, prepping your body to come back and do it all again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that.
It's a long week of games. No doubt about that. And for some of these players, they don't do this often. If you're Winnipeg, you're probably not used to playing 4 games in 4 days.
No, and you're going to go home with bumps and bruises, and hopefully that's all of it, but then you're going to go back to work on Monday. Oh, what'd you do on vacation? Oh, I got beat up for 6 days straight. How about Devin Pfeiffer completing his hat trick and keeping this Brooklyn power play hot? 4 for 5 now on the day as the lead stretches to 10.
80% clicking on the power play. You're going to see Devin Pfeiffer just send a feed up top to his brother Parker, who gives it right back to him and just has the old, thank you, I will send it into the back of the net.
I need a timeout. I'm calling timeout. 4 for 5 on the power play. You went immediately to the 80%. You told me you were no good at math. That was way too fast, okay? At least count to 10 next time or something.
I think I just shot myself in the foot on that one.
Yep. I know where I'm going when I need the goal differential formula figured out in next year's tournament. Shot bounces up and into the seats.
I'll be on your speed dial if you need a mathematician.
Always need a mathematician on standby. Delaron from the corner. Back up top, they score. Michael Newman.
Newman just came streaking down, had his stick up, right place, right time, and I think that kind of fooled Lucas Coote a little bit here. You're going to see the flip pass, and Newman just comes in, and yeah, Coote thought that was going to go high, as you can see him throw his right shoulder up there, but that just goes right underneath him, and Newman has his first goal of the game, and it's the little things for Winnipeg. A win here, scoring a goal, disrupting a play, killing off a penalty, something like that. So those are the things that all these players are going to want to focus on, and we're going to see a face-off violation here against Brooklyn as they were not set up yet on the restraining lines. Matt, Blizzard ball.
Well, they were trying to figure out who was going to get out there, and official had enough. Wasn't going to wait long enough for Alexis Samard to get in position.
Why does Blizzard ball sound like the name of a potential Blizzard at Dairy Queen? Is that just me?
Sounds like a sport on ESPN Ocho.
I really hope it has something to do with a snowball fight if you're going to call it blizzard ball.
A bajillion %. Showing off my math skills. Oh, water polo and ice. I like that.
Okay, now
Rachel coming in.
Now we're getting somewhere. Thank you for that, Rachel.
Osborne outside late in the clock. Low shot kicked out.
I'm not sure what sport I'd rather participate in, though, Matt. A professional snowball fight in a blizzard or playing water polo in ice?
Stumble here for the Merchants defender. Going to open space for Winnipeg, and they score again. Back-to-back goals for the first time since early in the first.
Coot able to make the initial save, and that rebound kind of kicked out in front of the crease, and Newman was already crashing near the net, so he's able to scoop that up. You're going to see it right there. He's already in front, crashes, just waits for it, and finds a pocket to pick, or a corner to pick, I should say. He actually goes 5-hole on Coot, as Coot moved his stick out of the way, and he's able to go right in between the legs for his second goal in less than a minute and a half, I want to say, Matt, 2 minutes. But either way, it's in quick succession. And, a healthy chop there from Simard. Gets away with it and comes away with the ball. But that could have been problematic. A solid two-hander from Simard.
There's definitely been a few of those throughout this game in the trenches. Elliott back through Kerrigan to the far side. Pfeiffer gets a screen in front from his brother. Will pass it back to Kerrigan, stumbling in the crease. 14-6 with 6.5.
Good pressure from Winnipeg. Good pressure right there from the Blizzard to disrupt a Merchants scoring opportunity.
Michael Newman, 2 goals in a minute and 6 seconds. Officially. Loose ball here. Osborne runs into it, lowers the shoulder, still got it. Shoots 5-hole, and Smith with the stop. Osborne impressive here in the tournament. Here's Poitras. Big collision in front of him.
That's going to be penalty worthy, Matt.
Yeah. Cross check coming here in this dangerous Merchants power play. Going back to work again, and that will also spring Adam Perrone from his 10-minute exile. Jared Corshen.
So you're going to see Corshen and just bodies his man. And that's going to see him sit for 2 or less. And in that stoppage, Matt, did we have some jarring going on back on, or was just everyone on the Merchants best excited to see Perrone again? I'm not sure, but I definitely heard some hooting and hollering.
Yeah, I think Poitras had something to say when he walked out in front of that bench on the home side, and I don't think they took too kindly to it. His 9 counterpart Kerrigan, though, looking for another one. Not this time, as the double team's going to come on the ball in the stick of Jarrett Wood. Out, kicked back over by the Merchants. Still on the Blizzard clock. Have 8 to get across center. Hit coming. That's Tucker. Knocking down Banyuk. Outside shot, clean catch.
Oh, man, I think Perrone wants that one back. He saw that shooting lane and it got knocked down. He's not going to be too happy about that.
Matthew Carlin off Coot. Had it stuck on the right leg. And it rolls back out. Long palm pass to Devin Pfeiffer. Inside of 5 minutes left to go. Here in regulation time. Minute remaining in the power play. 8-goal lead Brooklyn. Pfeiffer to Elliott. Quick stick for his brother Parker. Missed off the glass, over and back. We'll officially set tomorrow's schedule for you. Immediately following this game, stay tuned for players of the game as well, presented by Lacrosse Canada's Jim Bonhoff. Be sure you subscribe to the JVI YouTube channel so you won't miss any of the action throughout the week. As things start to get serious tomorrow when we come back for Quarterfinal Wednesday doesn't have a good ring to it. I'm going to have to sleep on this and come up with something pretty good. But real games begin tomorrow.
Hump Day knockouts.
I think it's a little too late in the day for me to try and make sense of that one and be able to keep my job. Here's Kerrigan. Quickly behind his back as we go back 5-on-5. Hard pass eluded the intended transition target. Coot wants the active stick. Hasn't had much to do here tonight. Getting a little board down in the crease as the sticks come up. Gloves are off. Patras wants a piece of somebody. And the official not going to let him get far enough to Jacob Hickey. Pardon me, that's Blaze Bilecki. Patra is hanging on to Hickey on the far side. Cole Tucker going over to say hello. And Bezecki's night is finished.
So a couple fireworks here to end the third period. Bezecki wanted to go, try to get the helmet off. Hickey did lose his helmet. Officials will come here and converse. Bezecki still in the penalty box, and officials are telling him, no, he's gone. He's done for the game. Which, with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, doesn't really surprise me. So we'll see what the official call is here from the officials. As you can see, Brandon Hesson and Vincent Burrell talking with standby official Joel Furman.
And we haven't seen too much of this here at the tournament. Thought things might have got a little bit serious. Yes, one of the games yesterday, but didn't. However, there's been some animosity between these two teams. Sort of came out of nowhere. Ever since jump here. And Bezecki now does grab his equipment and heads to the room underneath. I think it was a slash and a 10 to Bezecki. Matt Duncan also in the penalty box. Although he's now going to make his way back across the floor.
Oh, and did Vincent Burrell just motion something to Gavin Prout, blow his whistle? Yep, Gavin Prout has been kicked out of this game. Vincent Burrell just said, I'm not having enough of you anymore, and not a lot of time left in the game, so your night's done there for Gavin Prout.
Penalty, 16-40.
Just heard
offsetting roughing calls and a 10-minute misconduct to Bezecki, and an early shower for Gavin Prout, who can get to work on some of his extra duties he's been taking care of this week.
Definitely. Prout has had a lot of involvement organizing this tournament. Obviously, he's the general manager and the assistant coach here with the Merchants, so he's been on the planning committee and organizing staff for over a year now since the Merchants won the bid, and they've been looking forward to this week for some time, that's for sure.
Merchants finding a cutter. We remain 5-on-5 here with 3 minutes left to go. Straight down Main Street, the shot comes. Carter Ouellette had that bounce off Coot.
Good save from Coot in transition. Ouellette didn't really know what he was going to do, but once the defense didn't come to him, he said, I'm just going to go in and shoot, and Coot able to make a stop.
Hidden ball play here. I thought Peroni had it the entire way. Kerrigan gives it to him for real. Pass back, Crawford. Had that one go wide, and Peroni goes right upstairs.
And that's going to draw something, and Peroni's been known to drop the gloves, and there he goes right now. And you see that Blizzard player still down on the turf. He's definitely not okay, I think, right now. And you can see the Blizzard medical staff was on the boards, ready to jump over, and she did. Going to wait here. But that was a egregious cross-check up in the neck area. And with 2.5 minutes remaining now, we're going to have to be careful here to make sure no further fireworks get started here. And you can still see Peroni and Matthew Melito, here Matt jarring at each other back and forth in the penalty box.
I think Melito went after Peroni after the shot. That knocked down Parnell. He's had a rough game tonight. Been on the turf more than a few times, and wonder if there hasn't been more said or more done that has drawn the attention of some of the merchants to him. Is looks like Patra has just informed Melito that his night is done. I would assume the same for Peroni.
When Peroni received his helmet, Matt, I saw that the face mask was completely sideways and crooked. So when it got ripped off his head, it absolutely got damaged, and equipment manager is going to have to fix some screws, tighten some bolts so that he'll be good to go for tomorrow's game if he is in the lineup.
Okay, we all wait to see what goes up on the board. 5 on the side of the Merchants. That's, I believe, against Peroni. 2 on the side of Manitoba. I believe that's Melito who's gone to the room. LeBurge will come over and serve the minor penalty with 2.5 left to go that hopefully we can get through without further incident. Although we'll see. Playing 4-on-4 now, since those penalties minutes do not even up. Rebound, Corshen sitting on a pair of goals. Comes over to pick it up after his initial shot. There's some shoving between him and a Merchants player in behind. As now Reed will carry this over center.
4-on-4 lacrosse always makes for more interesting offensive and defensive systems. So
yeah, but at this point, I think it looks like the Merchants are just quite happy to keep clear of everybody else and look forward to a 3-0 record and a date with Saskatchewan tomorrow.
8 p.m. will be the time for that game, Matt, when the Roadrunners and Merchants take to the floor. Merchants will have the majority of their games played at 8 o'clock as they are the host team. They reserved that right. And I think you're right, Matt. They're just content to play safe.
And another extra little shove there. Banyuk goes down. Cross check coming here to the Merchants. And it's Samard who's been fired up most of the evening. This will be
Merchants bench staff, Matt, are calling for a delay of game as that shot clock was expired and a healthy underhand shot was ripped at the end boards well after the horn went.
There's a moving screen in front which caused the stoppage. This will be the third power play of the game for Winnipeg, and they'll use their timeout to set it up, and I wonder how well that's going to sit. Some chuckles over on the side of the home bench.
Definitely.
But again, we've talked about it all tournament. Now we head into serious time as Smith walks back over. We'll get a drink from Drew Dickey. The serious games begin tomorrow, and things, they become real. And not a lot of time for practice, not a lot of time to discuss things. And, probably team's going to take advantage of some video time. But other than that, you're going every day. So a timeout here just to get some kind of a play. And, of course, 4-on-3, not something they're going to have talked about.
No. Definitely.
I understand the timeout. I'm not upset by the timeout. And we'll see what happens here, even though Winnipeg are down 14-6.
They're playing the 8 p.m. game here tonight, Matt. They will rest up all day tomorrow. They're on the floor at 5. So that will give them some time to rejuvenate. But until then, they still have 1:20 left here in this game.
Winnipeg drawing Snake Island tomorrow in that 5 o'clock game. Power play is on. Down to the crease. A number of fakes. It looks like it's in. Yes, it is. I believe that's our player to watch, Alex Delaronde. 14 seconds into the man advantage. Scores the second power play goal of the night.
Patra over to De Laurent. He's able to just go down towards the goal line, and he actually kind of went behind GLE a little bit, or at least right parallel with it, and able to still reach around and go far side on Lucas Coote. Lead is cut in half. First time in a while we said that.
Yeah, 14-7 still, though. Manitoba Aboriginal Sports and Recreation Council Indigenous Athlete of the Year was Alex De Laurent. He's represented Manitoba at the Indigenous Games and a bunch of other places as well. De Laurent family, including his brother Seth, who played for the Orangeville Northmen in Junior A this year. Well known and respected, I understand, in that Manitoba and Winnipeg lacrosse community.
Orangeville Northmen coming off a very good season. Unfortunately fell just short in that Minto Cup, Matty, but still a great season from them year in and year out. 3 straight Ontario championships for them at the Junior A level.
Looks like the Merchants are in full dribble it out mode with 37 seconds left to go, although Osborne will go to pressure the ball. Still playing 4-on-4 here. Penalty about to expire against the Blizzard to give them another power play, this of the major variety. Again, 2 for 3 on it tonight of their 7 goals scored. Working it around the horn. As Winnipeg will play Snake Island. Business to take care of here, though, as it's another power play goal, the second of the night for Zach LeBurge. 3 for 4.
LeBurge didn't really do anything too exciting or too out of the ordinary here. Just a simple shot placement right on the inside post of Lucas Coote. You're going to see it right here on the replay. LeBurge just sees that Coote is in off his post. He's able to go short side in on Coote. And I want to correct myself before I forget, Matt, that's back-to-back provincial championships for the Orangeville Northmen, but they've reached 3 straight.
Reed will pull this one out. Playing it back down to Jason Crawford, despite Winnipeg still on the power play. It looks like this one's going to finish without further incident. A 14-9 victory for the hosts, Brooklin Merchants, who will indeed sit atop Pool A with a perfect 3-0 record. Winnipeg falling to 0-3, and that will solidify all matchups tomorrow.
Definitely. Brooklyn undefeated so far in this tournament. One of 2 teams able to say that. Of course, the other being the Snake Island Muskies. They will be, well, all teams will be in action tomorrow, but those 2 will have the last 2 games of the day. If you take a look at our schedule, 11 a.m., Matt, was when we see the Rivermen and the Pioneers.
Yeah, and then a really good game between Allegheny, Edmonton as well at 2 o'clock. Snake Island, Winnipeg, Brooklyn, Saskatchewan. All the action gets underway at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We invite you down here to Whitby if you're in the Ontario area, walking distance from the GO train as we look at the final standings. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel here at JVI, where we'll have the entire tournament all the way. This is how pool play ends. Brooklyn, Allegheny, Ladner, Winnipeg, Snake Island, Six Nations, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, all in a row after round-robin play.
There are some people that pegged the standings to look this way, Matty, with Ladner unfortunately being 1-2, just because this isn't the roster that they have typically brought to the Prezi in the past couple of years. So some people all only saw them winning 1 game. That was the fact here. And Snake Island going undefeated. A lot of people had them pegged at that because of how much manpower, and we've said it all night long when we mentioned them, of their 3-headed monster in 22, 66, and 77. We'll talk about them more later, but now for the player of the game presentations.
And for the Brooklyn Merchants, number 5, Eddie Renaud.
Andy Renault, the Merchants player of the game, with a goal and 2 assists. And Courchain, 2 goals, 1 assist, player of the game for Winnipeg. Once again, concluding round robin play, Winnipeg Blizzard go, unfortunately, winless here, but within 5 of the hosts and the Ontario champions, and everything that comes with that. I think a good performance from them, and exactly what Brooklyn wanted, to go perfect here in the round robin and get that number 1 seed.
They definitely did want to do that. They didn't want to backdoor their way into it just because they are the host. They do automatically qualify, but they wanted to win their home province, prove that they are a contender, and they've shown it here over the last 3 days, staying perfect in round-robin play. All teams will be back in action here tomorrow as we are close to signing off here from Iroquois Park Sports Centre, Matt.
Just one final reminder that it all begins again tomorrow at 11 a.m. when the games start to count for real. Six Nations, and Ladner kicking off at 11 a.m., 2 p.m. Allegheny, Edmonton, Snake Island, Winnipeg at 5. Primetime match, Brooklyn and Saskatchewan. The home side getting that 8 p.m. matchup yet again. So have a great night. Be sure to hydrate yourselves as well. And tune in again at 11 a.m. All times you see right there on your screen are Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you again at 11 a.m. for my partner Lucas Arger. The JVI Sports Network and everybody who you've heard from today. I'm Matthew Carrick saying good night from the President's Cup. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. From grassroots to major international events, Sport Durham's award-winning edge is the care we take to create memorable participant experiences and lasting legacies. Collaborate with Sport Durham to host your best event yet. While you're here, be sure to visit durhamtourism.ca for things to do across Durham Region's 8 vibrant communities. Summit Access Solutions is a turnkey access company that can accommodate any and all projects from scaffolding, swing stage, material lifts, weather enclosure systems, and shoring, just to name a few. We specialize in making what looks impossible possible so that you can complete any project safely, efficiently, and on time. Call us at 877-786-6483 or visit summitaccess.ca. No matter what the disaster, we'll be there to help get everything in your home or business restored back to normal. Whether your property has suffered from a kitchen fire, basement flood, or a break-in, our professional technicians and restoration experts will use the best tools and strategies to help you make your house feel like a home again.